My journey doesn't begin as a feel-good story. My journey is one of having zero interest in school and thereby attending 4 schools over 5 years and graduating with a 1.5 GPA with a counselor that told me I'd never amount to anything, not knowing that 30 years later, the district would be using books that I wrote to train the educators and administrators. I started off at Montclair Immaculate Conception High School, went on to East Orange High School, then Hillside High School, and ultimately Woodbridge High School, and then went on to junior college and spent 5 years there, 2 years school as an unemployed full-time student and never graduated. That was Middlesex County College, but then ultimately decided I need to do something with my life. Went to Kane University in New Jersey and graduated in 2 years, summa cum laude, at the top of my class, and I haven't looked back. And many ask the question, how did you do that? Because we remember those years of struggle. I stumbled on African American history, and it piqued a curiosity. And as a result of this curiosity, I delved deep into it and began to ask the question, why didn't I know this in the first place, all this history? The message that it brought to me was, you stand on broad shoulders. How dare you squander your education and squander your life when all this history, all this foundation has been laid for you and before you? There was a shift in my attitude, a shift in my thinking, a shift in my worldview, and it enabled me to unleash that which was laying dormant within my life for my entire life. Education is the embodiment of who I am. I believe it's the great equalizer. It opens doors. We as educators have to ensure that we're doing all the right things to convince a youngster that education is in fact the ticket to their success. There are no shortcuts. There's no instant gratification. You're gonna have to crawl. You're gonna have to make the sacrifices. You're gonna have to demonstrate the commitment. If I can shift the attitude of young people, achievement will follow. I've just got to convince youngster that you have the ability to do it. In fact, I want youngster to be excited about self, excited about the possibilities of learning, and excited about the prospects for their future. That's an attitude gap. The gap between those students who have the will to be excellent in that classroom and those who do not. Not the skill, not the ability, but the will. I say to teachers all over America, principals all over America, don't worry about the achievement gap. Tap into the attitude gap, the gap between those students who have the will to be amazing and those who do not. I said to the teacher, there's an attitude gap there as well. The gap between those teachers who have the will to be amazing at their craft and those who do not. Hey teacher, do you have the willingness to roll up your sleeve and be amazing, not just good, not just okay, not just great, but amazing at what you do? And when I can close that gap, there's a much higher probability that every youngster, I don't care what their circumstances are, there's a much higher probability that those youngsters are going to soar as well. I was that youngster.